Hey everyone! Tonight, we're diving into the world of economics. Don't worry, I promise to make it as painless as possible. We're talking about capitalism and socialism. Two economic systems that have shaped our world in profound ways. Think of them as two different recipes for baking a cake. Both aim for a delicious outcome, but they use different ingredients and methods. Capitalism is all about competition, like a bake-off where everyone tries to create the most amazing cake to win. Socialism, on the other hand, is more like a potluck, where everyone contributes ingredients and shares the final product. Now, both systems have their pros and cons. Capitalism has fueled incredible innovation and economic growth, but it's also been blamed for inequality. Socialism aims for a fairer society, but it's sometimes criticized for being inefficient. So, buckle up as we explore the origins, successes, and failures of these two economic giants. By the end, you'll have a better understanding of the forces that shape our world and the choices we face for the future. Let's get started. To understand capitalism, we need to travel back in time to England, where it all began. Picture this. It's the 16th century, and feudalism is on its way out. People are leaving their farms and heading to towns and cities in search of new opportunities. This shift from farms to factories marked the beginning of capitalism. People started owning the means of production, the tools, machines, and resources needed to make things. They hired workers for wages, and the goal was to make a profit by selling goods in a competitive market. The Industrial Revolution in the 18th century turbocharged capitalism. Factories popped up like mushrooms, churning out goods at an unprecedented rate. Capitalism spread like wildfire, becoming the dominant economic system in much of the world. But here's the thing about capitalism. It's all about competition. Businesses are constantly trying to outdo each other, leading to innovation and lower prices. Think about it. Your smartphone is a product of this fierce competition, constantly evolving with new features and better technology. While capitalism was gaining momentum, another idea was brewing in the minds of thinkers like Karl Marx. They saw the inequalities created by capitalism, the gap between the haves and the have-nots, and they envisioned a different path. Socialism emerged as a response to the social problems brought about by industrial capitalism. Think poverty, child labor, and unsafe working conditions. Socialists believed that the means of production should be owned collectively, either by the state or by the workers themselves. The goal? To create a more equitable society where everyone benefits from the fruits of their labor. Imagine a world where healthcare, education, and housing are basic rights, not privileges reserved for the wealthy. That's the socialist dream. Socialism has taken many forms throughout history, from the revolutionary ideas of Marx to the more moderate approaches of democratic socialism. But at its core, it's about using the power of collective action to create a fairer and more just society. Now, let's be real, capitalism has achieved some remarkable things. It has lifted millions out of poverty and fueled unprecedented economic growth. Think about the technological marvels we enjoy today: smartphones, the internet, self-driving cars, all products of capitalist innovation. Competition is the engine that drives this progress. Companies are constantly striving to create better products and services, leading to a constant cycle of improvement. This drive to innovate has led to breakthroughs in medicine, communication, and countless other fields. Capitalism also encourages individual initiative and hard work. The idea is that if you have a good idea and you're willing to put in the effort, you can achieve success. This entrepreneurial spirit is what drives many people to start businesses, create jobs, and contribute to economic growth. So, while capitalism has its flaws, it's undeniable that it has been a powerful force for progress and prosperity. Socialism, on the other hand, focuses on a different set of values: equality, social justice, and the common good. It's about creating a society where everyone has equal opportunities and no one is left behind. One of the key tenets of socialism is the redistribution of wealth. This means using taxes and social programs to ensure that the benefits of economic growth are shared more equally. Think universal healthcare, free education, and affordable housing, all hallmarks of socialist policies. Socialism also emphasizes the importance of workers' rights and social safety nets. It aims to create a society where everyone has access to basic necessities, regardless of their income or employment status. This can include things like unemployment insurance, paid sick leave, and affordable childcare. The goal is to create a more compassionate and just society, where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, not just the privileged few. But let's not sugarcoat it. Capitalism has its dark side. One of the biggest criticisms is that it leads to massive inequality. The gap between the rich and the poor continues to widen, creating a world where a select few hold a disproportionate amount of wealth and power. This concentration of wealth can have corrosive effects on society. It can undermine democracy, as the wealthy exert undue influence on government policies. It can also lead to social unrest, as people grow increasingly frustrated with a system that seems rigged against them. Another criticism is that capitalism can incentivize exploitation. In the pursuit of profit, companies may cut corners on safety, pollute the environment, or pay their workers poverty wages. This can create a race to the bottom, where companies prioritize profits over people and the planet. Socialism, for all its good intentions, has also faced its share of challenges. One of the biggest criticisms is that it can be inefficient. Centralized planning, a hallmark of many socialist systems, can be slow and bureaucratic, stifling innovation and economic growth. Think about it. When the government controls the means of production, there's less incentive for individuals to take risks and come up with new ideas. This can lead to stagnation and a lack of dynamism in the economy. Another criticism is that socialist governments can become too powerful and authoritarian. When the state controls the economy, it also controls many aspects of people's lives. This can lead to a lack of freedom and individuality, as people become dependent on the government for their basic needs. Now let's look at some real-world examples. The United States, the poster child for capitalism, has achieved remarkable economic success. It has the largest economy in the world and is home to some of the most innovative companies. But even in the United States, there's a growing recognition that unfettered capitalism has its downsides. That's why there's a push for policies like universal healthcare and a higher minimum wage policies that borrow from the socialist playbook. On the other side of the spectrum, we have the Nordic countries, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. These countries have embraced a model known as social democracy, which combines free market principles with strong social safety nets. They have high taxes, but they also provide their citizens with free healthcare, free education, and generous social benefits. And guess what? They consistently rank among the happiest countries in the world. But it's not all sunshine and roses. History is also littered with examples of both capitalism and socialism gone wrong. The Soviet Union, once a beacon of hope for socialists, ultimately collapsed under the weight of its own inefficiencies and authoritarianism. Venezuela, another country that attempted to implement socialist policies, is currently experiencing a humanitarian crisis marked by hyperinflation, food shortages, and political instability. On the capitalist side, the 2008 financial crisis serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of unregulated greed. The crisis, triggered by risky lending practices and a lack of oversight, led to a global recession and millions of job losses. These cautionary tales highlight the importance of balance and pragmatism. No economic system is perfect, and the best approach is often a mixed economy that combines elements of both capitalism and socialism. So, there you have it. A crash course on capitalism and socialism. It's a complex and nuanced issue, but hopefully you now have a better understanding of the key players, the historical context, and the stakes involved. The debate over the best economic system will undoubtedly continue, but one thing is clear. Finding the right balance between individual freedom and social responsibility is crucial for creating a just and prosperous society.